can muffle through until. But we're not live yet, so just so you know, we're just hanging out.
Yeah, I've just said to Bug if he's just grabbed all the images out of talking points ready, just in case Jake doesn't show, and go from there.
Yeah, I think we can. I mean, I don't think we'll have an issue filling the conversation in space.
Right, I'm just gonna load up the other window.
Why do I see? No, I don't want to show chat. I want to show hands. That's what I want to show. Because that's what I watch. Chat is on my phone.
You've got that up, yeah? So
yeah. I will watch for the hands up stuff. You guys focus on keeping it rolling and stuff. Just before we get started, let's make sure we don't. I know that you had a couple talking points that were more VIP stuff that we're just not going to talk about, right, Bug?
We deleted those out anyway. So
yeah.
I think I wouldn't even mention that. I don't think, because it's a bit of a smack in the face, isn't it? Cool for us. It's cool for the guys, but maybe not so much.
For the general population.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to get the show started. So now we have to behave and not do any more swear words.
Oh, okay.
Just so you know.
Right. So, I think, Bug. Have you woke Jake up yet? Is he next to you still? Can you give him a nudge? Anyone?
That's okay. Jake is a little slow moving today. And how has everybody's day been going so far?
Well, do you guys call it thrifting in America? We went to a car boot sale in the UK.
Yeah, it's like thrift. Yeah, I guess it'd be thrifting because there's thrift stores. But if you're going to people's houses, those are like, we call those in Canada, we call those garage sales.
Okay,
same as US, but we also call it thrifting, whether it's sometimes like garage sale or like an actual retail location.
Mm-hmm. Well, because sometimes there's big, they're like farmers markets, like big markets where people, it's like thrifting there too, I guess, like antique markets, I suppose, that are not at a retail location, but super fun.
Yeah,
I love.
Yeah, I think my missus came away with kind of more than she expected.
I like to repurpose old jewelry.
Oh yeah, that's loads of that stuff there.
Mm-hmm. Super fun. But I mean, we're not as old as England and Canada, so we don't have all of the cool stuff that you have access to. So
yeah, guys, you'll get there. Don't worry, it's all coming. Scones are coming. Right. Okay. I think everyone's kind of on the same sort of timeline as Jake today.
We're a little. Yeah, I would give everyone a little extra time to with the new timetable. I'm not surprised that people are slow to join. On the, I might
in the audience.
I might go and pop into world chat and poke people awake.
Yeah. Plus, people could be like tired from season 2. You know, they're just like, oh, I need sleep.
Oh, that's okay.
I haven't done anything. I haven't literally done anything this season, really. Honestly,
I was having the same conversation with Bug about because I took a step back to have a slower season, and we're not doing the bots. So I'm like, it is very bizarre to me that I'm getting all of my hornets hunted and I'm managing to get sleep.
Are you starting to feel guilty? Because I feel strange and strangely guilty. Like I'm not pushing anyone. No, you know, it's odd. It's a really strange thing to get used to, honestly.
Well, you know what's worse is that my team color is the same color as bots. So I'll go hunt hornets and be like, no. Oh, I can't hunt that one. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I can. It's very weird. I'm like traumatized by the pink bots.
More afternoon, morning even. Don't know what it is where you are, my friend.
We'll give it to 11:03 and then just get started. Well, it's 11:03, so 15:03 my time.
No worries.
And then we can just roll in and see what happens. Wow.
So I have been fighting since 4 days ago and getting very little sleep.
Oh, dude.
One day, after the third day of getting a 2-hour nap instead of sleep, I was so tired it was physically painful. I just said, guys, I cannot fight tonight. I need sleep. I'm sorry. And it was a great fighting night. I'm so bummed I missed it. We took a residence from with Dada and JS, and oh my god, of all the nights that I caught up on sleep, I missed the epic battle.
We've been there, all of us, I think, haven't we? I think last Wetlands we had maybe 2 nights of the whole event that were like, those full send and like fight events, and those 2 fight nights I was either off or away, and I think it doubled the actual kill numbers of everyone that was there versus what I'd done the whole season so far just from those 2 nights.
Oh man.
Well, I guess we should just get started.
Okay.
Go.
All right. Well, hello everyone. This is Bug Gaming, and I'd like to give you a very warm welcome to the Ants official live stage today. Thank you so very much for joining us at our new time of 15 UTC moving forward. As you can see, some people may have not caught on with the trend yet, but I'm sure they will in time. We have some interesting topics lined up to speak with you about, but more importantly, we actually want to know what you want to talk about. So please do click the raise hand feature that's at the bottom of your screen at any time. Just go ahead and in-game ID to the what was that?
Just went completely black.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so remember to add your in-game ID to the in-game ID channel, and Fairy will give you a nice little gift for joining us today. And with us, we have as our host Gigafox and our channel manager Nim. And if Jake Dog happens to arrive, he'll be co-hosting with us. Otherwise, it'll be a team effort co-hosting. So without further ado, I'll hand it over to Gigafox.
It's Dave. Hi guys, how we doing? I think we're gonna carry on as we kind of normally do and just run through some of the things that came through on the latest update. I don't know how everyone else has felt about it, but the first thing that we were super excited about was obviously the app feature in chat. I don't know about your servers, but it's kind of took off like crazy on ours. Everyone now is kind of atting everybody, and I hope everyone's noticed. If you get that kind of at mention in chat, you also see the little gold bar at the top of your chat screens. You guys seen that when it's come up?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, super cool. So that spins you straight up to where the at was. I mean, I didn't expect it, didn't see it coming, and honestly, it's been absolutely awesome. And people have really, really took to it. So, been the same for you guys everywhere?
Yeah, people are having a lot of fun with it, that's for sure.
We're getting abuse already of the app feature.
No, I think it helps alleviate like misunderstandings, because I don't know about you, but especially at Reset with my team is very active, and it is sometimes very difficult. Like there's multiple conversations going on at the same time. So that has been really handy that you don't lose your place.
Same for you, Bug?
No, it's been flawless, and out of the million times that it's been used, and that it was funny, just one time someone accidentally featured one particular person and said "ha ha" on accident.
I mean, I kind of see there is a chance that people are going to, go a bit silly with it, and I get that. But with all the different kind of, languages and communities and misunderstandings we've all seen in this game, you've got to hope that this is going to go some way to, identifying who that chat was to get rid of these misunderstandings, to stop any of those aggressive kind of responses that we've seen in the past where they're like, why are you saying that to me? I'm hoping, that's kind of what this is going to do for everybody. So
yeah, it's like, no, I wasn't talking to you. I meant haha to the thing above, not you.
Yeah, exactly. And it, people are behind screen, and we've all heard of like keyboard warrior syndrome. We all know it. Anyone can say anything behind a screen. So I think anything that, the guys have done to actually give us that little bit of extra safety blanket to be able to say what we want to the right people and get rid of this confusion, I think is awesome. So obviously, round of applause to devs. I think that was probably one of the best ads I've seen in a long time. So super cool. Anyone else, anything to say on that? Everyone good?
Yeah, I'm good. Anyone from the audience?
Super cool. So let's go into the new buddy. So lime swallowtail. So you guys bought it? You got it?
Yes.
Yes. Well, we know.
I like all the shiny things. You know that. If there's something new and shiny and reasonable, I'll throw some. Then I'm probably going to grab it.
Yeah, it doesn't, poop rainbows like the skin we talked about last week, but it is still pretty nice. I mean, I'm English, so I was more excited about the cabbage white. That kind of typical UK butterfly was like super nice to see. The love in that came through, but this one's nice too. I don't know where it's native to. I haven't read into it, but for everyone that recognizes it, congrats. It's kind of cool. So have we got all the details put in chat? Nim,
yeah.
One of you want to pick through the details on this one?
Nim's got it in chat. Thank you, Nim. And one thing I was reading about, this one might be a little bit different than the former buddies in that it attacks the ants directly. I don't know. Has anyone heard anything about that? Because it says exclusive damage to all enemy squads.
Yeah. Or is that all enemy squads as in each row? Or is it...
Yeah, each row.
Yeah. So not just the front. So that's going... Yeah, so is it going to split the damage across all three? Because if you've only got X amount of damage, are you going to do that on each row? Are you going to do it as a split? I don't know. Someone, Conic, I've just seen, has just put all enemy squads. So, but is it that percentage on each row of that squad? So is it each one, or is it an amalgamation of that damage? Yes, trap should be.
I would say. So it says it does say 80% exclusive damage to all enemy squads. So maybe it does 80% to each individual.
Yeah. So
true.
I mean, that's
or
kind of a lot more than the others. Am I right?
Yeah.
A lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to load it on one of the others. Some of the others are nowhere near that as the actual damage, are they?
No, it might be two split between two rows or two squads.
You've got higher damage, don't you? You get like, I don't know, 250, 260, 280. You get a load of extra damage, but it's unique to a row, I think, on the others, isn't it? I don't know whether anyone in the chat can confirm it on every single buddy, but I've not seen. So it's 80, 80, 80. So 816. So you're 240, I guess, in total, but split on every row, whereas some of the others are going to be max or higher damage, but on one particular row. So maybe we're starting to see something where you can actually tailor your buddy based on what you're going to be facing once you've got everything leveled out to a decent sort of setup. Maybe.
Fox got his hand up, so I'm going to invite him up.
Cool.
Oh. We'll see.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello,
Fox.
other Fox.
Imposter. How you doing,
Um,
bud? What do you need to say?
My bed is a fox.
Sorry.
My pet is a fox.
Your
Your pet is a
Oh,
fox.
your pet.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh.
No way.
Did you have something to add to the conversation or a
different.
question? Okay.
I'm a little shy.
Okay.
You
But
cool?
did you have a question for us?
Can I have goats?
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe later we'll throw some in chat. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, with regards to the other ones, like the Swallowtail prior to the Lime Swallowtail, the Queen did only 2 squads. So this one's doing 3 squads. The Common Blue is doing damage to all enemy squads, but probably just a lower percentage. And the Turquoise Beetle is 2 random enemy squads as well.
Yeah.
So the thing about these though is that you can get them, but they're still really not going to be like my 5-star Queen Swallowtail is still only at 50% chance to do 272% damage. My 7.5-star Turquoise Beetle 80% to do 231. So the 5-star Queen Swallowtail can do more, but it's a 30% chance to do 30% less chance to actually process that skill still. So until I level it up more, I'm just keeping them on the back burner until they're starred up a little bit more, and then I'll go ahead and switch them out.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, all I've said to my guys is for now, just focus on your buddy bonding. Focus on your actual stars to get your bond activated, because as kind of these new ones come through, we don't know what is going to actually happen and what we're going to use them for. And that extra sort of boost that you get for your actual initial bond, I think if everyone just went full send on one, I mean, it's fine, you can, but you are sacrificing obviously that original bond bonus to begin with. So I think if you're not spending like the free to play end, really just kind of going through the motions of getting the 5 stars, I think is kind of like the right way forward for now. And then if you are going to start spending, you can add on the ones that you want to obviously push together and the ones that are bonded. That I think was kind of the advice that I was given, is don't push your levels on ones that you haven't got bonded yet, because you're not getting kind of the full benefit. But I mean, I guess we've all got our own different ways of doing it, but
well, and that's the question I had brought up in our pre-show conversation, was about because I was looking at because anytime you get a new buddy, you're starting to look at all of your buddies and what do they look like and when are they going to become useful, because it's kind of a slow grind to get them to that place. And so I've just finally gotten the Beetle to a place where the bond is activated. And I'm like, do I invest in getting stage 2 buddy bond activated, or do I start to grind to improve the skills on the newest one?
Mm-hmm.
And so there's always like a give and take of like, okay, well, what will be the most benefit? And there is the what was it, the 10%? Let me see. I think I have a picture of it. So the stage 2 is that extra 10% insect buddy skill damage reduction. So we kind of were like, it's maybe better to get that on your first, because you can't swap stars once you've active. You know what I mean? So you're sort of already. He's not even, or she, I don't know, gender neutral. And it's kind of challenging, because we had this conversation about our troops too. It's like, do you just focus on you're having a wicked pro troop, or do you have 4 pretty marches? Like, what does that look like and how you play, right? So it's all these little nuances to how you invest and play in the game.
Yeah, and I think that's what's going to change as these buddies become more and more kind of useful. So, I mean, no one's really seeing, huge impact from these at the minute. It's small impact, but, once we start leveling up that gallery, once that starts hitting, everybody knows that some of the biggest improvements in game are from gallery upgrades. They are, there's no denying it. And there are specific upgrades to your hill that you can only get in those areas, with your combat speed areas and things like that. So I think ignoring the gallery is only going to put us all behind, or putting yourself in a place where you are working towards it at least is going to put us all behind. But on the back of that, if you don't just focus the one you're going to use in your pro, and I'm a pro user, I rotate my pro through every kind of march when I'm in season for fighting. I don't, that's, I guess, up for debate as well. But I only use that because it's the greatest amount of damage versus stamina usage. So it's always been the right way in my brain to do it. So would I really be using all of those different buddies that I'm leveling up in all my other marches? I don't know. I don't know as much as anybody, it's one of those. I think, Trap's in here, Connick's in here, all the guys that bone the hell out of every single thing that comes into the game. I mean, interested to see if either of you two want to chuck an opinion on what you would choose, as a direction to go with the buddy side of things, guys. If you are already in a place to give an opinion. Just let the tongue.
It's always. Sorry, what'd you say, Bud?
Before they jump on, I use them in Duel of Special Ants, so it does have some impact there because you can use 3 different buddies. And that the effects there are big because all the other stat buffs are ignored except for insects and ants. And buddies.
Okay, so in Duels and in Glory, you've got the 3 buddies that are actually being took into account.
Right, Duel of Queens, Special Ants. You've got 3 different troops fighting against 3 other troops. So you're gonna have three lineups, and so you're going to be using your 3 best buddies that you have on those 3 lineups. So it is good to have not just one group
for that, because obviously where are you hitting on Special Ants at the end of the event? Roughly, what's your position ending up at?
Top 4 every time.
Right. So I mean, is that? I don't know. I mean, I probably run maybe in the top 30, 40 in Special Ants because again, I only focus leveling up ants in my pro. So most of my others aren't super. But I'm not losing reward. Would I consider leveling up my buddies for that as a basis of doing it? I don't know.
It's certainly not going to hurt.
Reward. Yeah, not going to hurt. Absolutely, yeah. I hate my voice. I want a voice like Bug Gaming. Yeah. Okay, look, you've offered this guy goats now, Bug, and now he wants your voice. That's a fair trade, dude. Come on, goats for a let's do that.
Deal.
It's a deal. Okay, so I mean that buddy wise, I don't know. I think Trap's put in there. Did you just put in there, Trap, to say just keep stacking Gold Beetle on that one?
Well, for free to play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
the best option, right?
Yeah, and just get that to get the max damage hit out of it. Yeah, and then just rotate it through if you are using different troops, I guess. Just spin it all the way through. Okay, so I think there's still going to be a lot that we need to go into all of these. it's going to be kind of a thing that I think we repeat over and over as things change and as things get delivered in it on the buddy side of things. So, the other thing I wanted to say on it quickly was just I think they've updated the choice now in the VIP store. Am I right? That's available now. So you've got 3 different options in VIP that you can choose from. Is that right? I think it was 3. Just
Yes, it is 3. I'll have to run and yes.
Yeah. Well,
Yes, you can all 3.
So I think that's kind of cool, but I think I know that, you know, I do have an almost kind of free to play angle on a lot of the things that I do, but I do think that the daily ones should also be selective. Just from my point of view, I think, you know, the free to play, yes, you can earn a reasonable amount of diamonds and you can buy stuff if you want to buy stuff, but, you know, forcing one particular piece, even if you are buying those daily ones, I would prefer to have a choice, so we're not wasting resource. It feels like a forced waste of resource if you're not particularly interested in leveling that particular one, or initially. Do you know what I mean?
Well, and I think the difference too is with the VIP store option, for those who are purchasing, it gives you 3 levels, right? So you purchase, for me it's $6.99 for the first bit, and then it gives you, I think, a $13.99 option once you've purchased the $6.99, and then it gives you a $27.99 option. So I think that there's, if you are a spender, there's benefits to that if you were close to finishing off or are, you know what I mean, or tidying up loose ends, because I like things to be finished. That's a nice option to have, but as you said in the daily option, it would still be nice to be able to cycle through the current 3.
I think so. I think it would make a lot of people happier. And you'd probably obviously end up doing a lot more, because if, you know, well, Star Union are going to make more out of it, I guess, because at the moment, yes, it's a great buddy, but if you are so close and you only really spend that little amount each day, because that's a great offer, that, you know, base $4.99 offer, you are now basically stopping leveling up what you've done for the last month on the previous to now switch to a new one with literally no other way of getting the fragments other than the maybe, 4, I think, that you can get in a week from hatching or buying more from VIP. So you're stalling lower spend progress, in my opinion, just my opinion, but that's kind of how I see it. You're forcing a change of focus, which fine, no issue, but, you know, I would rather be able to choose where I put my money. That's kind of my point. So
So
okay.
are you sorry, go ahead.
No, carry on, mate. Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say, you can, just a little trick, unhatch the purples if you want, and maybe get an extra turquoise beetle while you're hatching, because the first 8 are guaranteed, and you have maybe like a 25-35% chance of hatching each individual turquoise beetle or the two other purples. You can unhatch.
Potentially, is it 2 or is it? It's not a lot, is it? It's only a couple of extra, 2 or 3 or something that you can guarantee, or a chance of 4, but a guarantee of 2 or something. I kind of looked at a while ago.
So you get a guaranteed of 8 each week. The first 8 are guaranteed, but if you unhatch and rehatch, that's not counted as a hatch, so it'll give you another one still.
Another roll, but there is a limit still.
So I'm still unhatching. I'm still unhatching from the beginning of the week. I still haven't received my first 8 guaranteed buddies because I've been unhatching to try to get more turquoise beetles.
So trap, I think, is, if you just put that in there, I just saw it flash up, buddy. I didn't actually clock it properly. But are you saying that there's 4 extra that you can get from unhatching? Is that what that message was in chat? Did anyone see him type that?
Yeah, no, he said no. There's only 4 possible a week.
Right. So that's your 4 the 4 possible from unhatching, right?
Okay, so you can only get 4 then.
Yeah. So I think it's
once I get to four, then I'll stop now. But I still unhatch and rehatch to try to get more gold insects.
Oh, he's put 6. Sorry, he's just put 6. So no, only 6 possible purple extras. So that's what he's put in chat now. So it's still worth doing because obviously, if you're pushing the focus as it sounds like you are, why would you keep purple for no reason? I mean, why?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. So, Nim, do you unhatch? I don't think you do you? Just let.
No, I didn't. I mean, I'm a set it and forget it type of player.
Yeah.
So I had no idea that you could.
Okay.
I was like, nah, I just roll it and go because especially when you're working, you kind of just I'm going to grind out all those details. You know what I mean? Don't forget your meteorite. Don't forget this. Set, and go. And then just collect it 8 hours later. It's kind of so yeah. I mean, I don't know. For me, it comes down to what you prioritize and how you want to play your hill, I think, too, in some ways, because buddies haven't been a high priority for me. I like to get the stars up and stuff, but then I think there's just so much to know about the game and how you're modifying, changing, and looking at. So for me, it was the Awakening Gallery because I got shamed into realizing how much I had neglected mine. So I've been sort of looking at a lot of that and reconfiguring my ants. But yeah, now I will roll back into.
It's worth a try, I think, isn't it? Yeah.
But it's just it's why I do stage. I'm there's so many things that I need to ask questions about and get reminded of that. I mean, if I didn't, I would never make half the improvements I do.
That's kind of why we all talk to each other, I think, isn't it? So
100%.
Okay, let's just quickly jump through.
Wait, one thing. Sorry to interrupt. I just put a tip. I'm not going to make a video about this, so only however many people here are going to hear this. There's a little trick I've done. If you look at the video, I hatched 3 gold insects by hatching and unhatching and then not hatching my golds that popped up. So I had 3 gold insects in a week. So this could be a little glitch in the game. I don't know yet. It's my first week trying it out and it worked.
Okay.
But I got a 2-star gold and 2 1-stars.
There is a spreadsheet
just not
somewhere, dude. I'm sure there's. I don't know where it was. Somewhere in the community. I kind of want to say Reddit. Actually, one of the guys that was on Reddit. There is a spreadsheet which actually details the benefits over time of unhatching versus letting it roll. So I think that's kind of always been a normal thing that you kind of get another chance or a better chance of increasing your golds. But it would be interesting, now to see whether or not if you're unhatching specific ones, that are having something attached that you don't want, maybe that it does go straight to a gold. I don't know, but it'd be nice to compare the old version of what we know about unhatching versus letting it complete versus kind of now the new one. That would be kind of a cool little afternoon for us, mate.
yeah.
Or a boring one for most people, but it might be cool to look at the data afterwards and see if it has changed. Yeah, for real.
Don't tell too many people though. I don't want the developers changing anything. If it's really
just between us, don't worry. We never.
I don't think they listen to us.
Okay. What was on the update? I don't think there's anything super important else on there, was there? I think the other basic kits, the new medal,
the recycling feature.
Yeah, didn't we cover that a bit last week?
We did, but did anyone actually recycle anything? Because
I'm not recycling things.
Soul made me nervous. I'm like, I don't need the diamonds bad enough right now. I'll just keep it stored in case. They're like my emergency diamonds now.
Yeah, I think the update says that obviously you can now go in and get rid of the, things like your glimmery leaf and get bits and pieces back and whatever else. But I think, we all live in fear, don't we? That there's going to be an upgrade to the Queen at some point.
Well, I do now. Soul gave me his trauma.
You've got to think it honestly, because exponential growth is the only way of improving the game and improving revenue. They're hand in hand. So I can't see it not happening. And wouldn't it just be, sod's law? I don't know whether you know that phrase, everyone that's listening, but you cut your nose off to spite your face, don't you? You go out and get rid of all of these, and
But
then
I mean,
2 months later, they're like, hey.
I took a good look at it, and for me, everyone's got their individual hill, and especially I know in early game days, like diamonds were very, very, very important and a lot harder to get a hold of. Well, I mean, they still are really, but so for me, I was like, I'm not in a position where I need the resources from sort of, trading all of that stuff in, recycling it all. So I'm just going to leave it there for a little bit longer and see how it happens. Now, if I was in a position where I needed the extra X amount of diamonds, then maybe we'd be having a different conversation. But so I mean, I like that there are features there. I like having the option, but yeah.
I think that's it, isn't it? That's the way to look at it. And you're right. I'm looking at it from a personal point of view, and the same way you're like, I don't particularly need it right now. But if you are pushing for other upgrades, or you are still pushing to complete other buildings, etc., or
even like you haven't got your VIP max, you haven't got your VIP maxed out, so you're like, hey, these will get me. Do you know what I mean? So it's like it's always like you're moving. You're like, taking from Peter to pay Paul, I think is now that we're using all of our these fun little. So it's like, if it might be worth not having those items to get your VIP. So it's how you want to navigate that and where it works for you. So
no, agreed. So yeah, I mean, there's benefits. So I guess it's just on your setup and your current kind of target, isn't it? So.
Yeah, and it's better to have the option than to have everything just sitting there and having no use for it. So I like the option. I just haven't used it yet.
Cool. Are you getting rid of anything, Bug?
Have not utilized it just in case.
Yeah, for real. Right, we're all just gonna sit on the anxiety fence and just not do anything, just in case. Well, that's cool. That's what we're gonna do. Don't know about everybody else, but I mean, I would assume it's going to be a massive split between who needs what. So, okay. So, any other cool stuff in there? I don't think it was that great, was it? Little optimized skill activations and things.
The medal.
And then the medal. Medal, Bug. I think Bug drew us the medal, didn't he? For anyone who wants to know what Bug does in his spare time, forget all of his YouTube stuff, forget anything else, forget his job, forget his family. What he does is sits and designs medals for us. That's all he does.
I'm just graphically designing what the lava scorpion might look like.
And we got to get it in chat. We've got to get it out so everyone can see what
we did. Get this sneak peek was up on. I got to find it because I took a million pictures today. But there was a sneak peek on Instagram.
There's a sneak peek on Instagram of the pincer, which if you Google Lens that, it says that it's a crab. So that's not accurate, but what I'm going with is the fact that the metal image, looks like a lava scorpion that's in Central America that's called a bark scorpion. Okay, so the the previous carrier insect, the bicolor, they made the metal look like the bicolor.
Yeah.
So if they make the new lava scorpion look like the metal as well, it's going to be a bicolor. There's actually a scorpion that's called like Centru something bicolor, and it also happens to be yellow with black in the middle and so forth. So I think the snippet they showed might not be accurate or not be I'm not saying it's not accurate. I'm saying it might not be a color match they're just showing that it's going to be something with a pincer like a scorpion, you know. So I think the scorpion's going to look, you know, yellow with sort of a black back.
Black line. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I prefer steps, to be honest. I reckon it should just be a big mama scorpion. I think that's a cool. You nailed it. That's exactly what it should look like.
I did also think it was noodles.
Yeah, first glance, 100%. Yeah, I thought that was what my Deliveroo was being transported on for the time being. So, nice. You are getting into this AI stuff lately, aren't you, Steph? Okay.
No, that's not it. That's a real deal. That's a real
thing.
That's a real thing.
Wow.
So I think those are bark beetles on a scorpion, or so. I don't know. Or they're not scorpions on top of a scorpion. I don't think. I think for some reason the bark beetles stay on the scorpion. They probably munch on whatever the heck its leftovers are. I don't know.
Amazing.
Okay. Now I'm just creeped out. I'm going to stop looking.
There we go. Advertise your artistic talents, my friends. So, and they are wonderful. All right, they are wonderful. What was the other thing on there? The the special items, wasn't it? Refresh, I think. So the special items on the Ladybird, so you can just roll again each time it refreshes. Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. I think that was it. Yeah.
I think there was some controversy around the Ladybug new items and the diamond cost.
Okay.
But that don't have that written down.
I mean, I've looked through. I think there was something to do. It's after level 19 anyway, wasn't it? And then you've got your others category that you can then kind of flick through. But I mean, for me, it had the treasure stuff that's in there, which is, you know, kind of difficult to come by. So I mean, if that's there, I'll grab it. Other bits and pieces. So I mean, it's another little place that you can go and grab cool stuff from. So I'm all for it. Thanks very much, everybody. And I think not really anything spectacular other than that was there. So what do we do next, my beautiful friends? Lucky prize wheel, shall we do? Shall we hit that?
Sure. I think it'd be good.
Lucky prize wheel. So I don't need anything on it other than the little white fluffy thing at the bottom. So that's kind of the only thing that I do it for, just so I can get the awakening for that, because that's the one that I need. But I think, Bug, you were talking to me earlier about how it kind of works, and I know you've got notes somewhere. I don't know if anyone can chuck that into chat about the kind of pay to win max reward available. I think there was kind of a decent amount of information in there about what is actually available if you buy the right packs, etc. But then also there's the free to play. If we work out just by your activity rewards, you're going to end up with, is it one full ant in the end, Bug, at the end of that time period?
Yeah, so by the whole end of the event, you're going to get a free, what used to be $300 ant. And if you don't somehow get one by chance, those beans stay in your inventory, so you're definitely getting one the next time around, which it looks like the event's going to be something around like every 2 weeks now, because it was just 2 weeks ago that they had the last one, I think, or every month, or the interval between these events.
I thought it was a month, so I thought it's been longer. I just think maybe we've had so much go on, we've kind of lost track of time. But I mean, I think a month. But...
Sorry, every month. So, you know, you wait 4 weeks, you get another, you know, basically pay to win ant. So that
the old ones that used to be on the offers, you know, at least that we are all going to need, aren't we? If we're going to be doing our awakening end of things, it allows free to play now to boost their awakening, etc. with ants that, you know, we don't really want to promote any sale of anymore, do we? Other than through here at the minute. So
yeah. So let me post something here also. Let's see.
Do you need any out of there, Nim? Just while he's finding that.
I don't need them as an ant collector. I will pick up a few of them. I did, like, I've never had a Lathy before, so I made a point of picking up one of those. So I'm kind of looking at, like, what do I need in my meteorite?
It's to fill the grey spaces. I know.
Yeah, what do I need over there? And then like I held on to a lot, and I picked up a ghost because I thought, well, I'm going to try some PvE stuff. So I'm kind of playing with the prize wheel. Like I held on to the last couple amount of beans because I was like, I'm not sure what I really need, but there's not a ton there that I need currently. Like it's not going to drastically shift my gameplay at all. And I don't really need any of the awakenings, but I mean, I will pick those up. Like if I'm gonna pick up like the ghost ant, then I might as well get the awakening for it, right? And continue to grind on my awakening gallery. But I wish they had the Lathy awakening in there because it would make, you know what I mean? Like it's like if they got the ant available for me, why don't I have the access to the awakening in the same? But I mean, overall, I think for opportunities for players who aren't massive money spenders, this is more, I think, geared towards free to play, like grinding. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
it's another layer of help, definitely. So, but you got that loaded, bud?
Yeah, so I got that loaded. It looks like, so yeah, you'll get at least 150 beans, which will get you an ant. It's 600 to get the awakening. So basically you can get one of these awakenings in 4 months for free.
Okay.
The special awakenings. But if you buy all the packs, which is like $175, you can get 2 of the special awakenings, which will upgrade your awakening gallery by 40,000 points, which is going to get you at least up 1 level. Even if you're at like level 15, I jumped from 15 to 16.
40,000 plus you're leveling up, right?
Yeah, but if you're at level 5, it'll jump you up to level 7.
Up, down. Nice.
So that's a huge stat boost for $175 compared to like if you bought a $300 ant, for example. You know,
get no boost.
Right.
Okay. Again, it's because obviously you're dealing with a lot of these kind of issues from that kind of perspective. For me, it doesn't ring as absolutely valuable, you know, which is kind of why I wanted this discussion. I look at the prize wheel and I'm like, nah, all right, I'll buy that because, you know, it's another one to add to the list. But for me, it's 20,000 points. It's fine. I need it. I will level up later on. But for you to work that out, for the guys that are needing these ants that didn't get them when they were the peak ants to get, you know, that amount of boost to a gallery is an insane boost to your gameplay. It's a massive boost. I don't know whether Trap, if you've got access quickly, you can chuck the gallery ranking upgrades.
I put it in there.
Yeah, have you put it in already?
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll have, I don't know, what is that? Maybe 20% across the board on attack, defense, and health. That many levels? Gotta be.
So like if you went from 5 to 7, you're getting a 30% attack, a 10% attack boost, 10% defense boost, 4% health boost. If I went from 15 to 16, so I got what did I get? 10% attack on guards, 10% defense on shooters, and 4% on carriers, which is my main. So they're all very big, but I mean 10%. Like the red star
that's the level 1, 10%, right? So if you're going, I mean, if you go from 3, if you're at 3 to 7, that's an insane amount. And then how many points is that? 97. I mean, 3 to 7 is kind of where the big game is, isn't it? But if you've already then chewed up a chunk of getting to 7 with these additions from the prize wheel, maybe this is the way that
Well, you can get
we should be looking at.
you can get from 7 to 9 with 2 of the special awakenings, from 90,000 experience points to 130. So you can skip 2 levels. You know, so if you're around there, you can skip 2 levels, or just if you're higher than that, level up 1 and then get halfway into the next one.
No, I mean, I'll be honest. Yeah, I looked at it as just, you know, adding another thing. But yeah, for the guys that are at that kind of level, I know we keep talking about this gallery upgrading, but if people really haven't started pushing it already, you know, this is another way of doing it without spending anything. You know, you're getting real good boosts that really you're not going to get in a lot of other places in upgrades. So cheers for that, dude. I appreciate that. So I think the newest servers and the people that are, you know, maybe a lot further behind, this prize wheel is going to give them a really nice bring up to speed in a lot of areas. So maybe don't underrate it if anyone has kind of not really focused it. There are extra benefits other than the little beans. So all good. Anything else on that, guys?
I think that's about covers it. It's, I think, like you said before, it's a benefit for upcoming servers who maybe aren't as developed. And yeah, I mean, never discount. It might not work for you, but it's definitely going to be beneficial to somebody else. And the more players that have those benefits, the more that are playing, which is fun for everybody.
Yeah, I guess we just got to get stronger ourselves. Then, oh my god, that's now I get it. Right. Okay. So, Treasure of Bees. Again, I'm going to go in with my slightly negative opinion, and hopefully you guys can convince me otherwise. But who is that aimed at?
I don't like the event. So.
I mean, if I'm completely free to play, what am I getting out of that? Because I mean, I've spoke to some of my guys that are, you know, completely never spend a penny, and for them, I think was it like 2 hits in one of them and 3 in another, maybe. I think it's not a huge kind of opportunity unless you are 100% going to spend money. Am I right or wrong? Discuss.
I mean,
go ahead.
No, I was going to say, you're right. To me, it's a spender event. I do think there are, like, if you can save up to get, say, the, I think it's the awakening proteins, that can be beneficial. But overall, like, I personally don't pay a lot of attention to that event unless there's something specific that I'm aiming to get. Yeah.
Devil's advocate. Would you bother a lot more, and would you hit it every second of every day if you were able to keep the daisies like you were your little beans?
Yes. If I could keep, I would love to be able to keep them and store them up. I think that would be much more beneficial to players all over, because it's an event I pay so little attention to that I often end up having daisies left over and just hanging out that I have to crash. So yes.
What were you thinking, Bug?
I mean, I think it's a total pay-to-win event, definitely. If you spend a few bucks, you can get some cool things at a discount, but you're at least going to get some just free, like, soldier reform and free, you know, kiwi and stuff like that. So I mean, thanks for the, you know, a little bit of free stuff from the event. I mean, it's not a huge handout, but it's a short-lived event. It's like, you know, 3 days or whatever. And yeah, the awakenings are for $300 ants, and the awakening, you need 7 awakenings at like $300. That's $2,100. So it's a very pay-to-win heavy event, you know. But if you buy a few of those daisy packs, you can get some of the cool things like Nim was talking about. If you want to get some awakening protein, I think you can spend like $10 on daisies and get like a good amount of awakening protein, which is nice. I'm always looking for ways to get that stuff.
Yeah, so you can spend a little to get kind of things that are hard to get, or you can spend nothing and I think you get a reform, an egg, and a bit of kiwi, maybe something like that. Yeah, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I think too, for me, I'm like, if the event didn't exist, you wouldn't be getting any of the little free items. So like, I'm happy that there are options to get stuff, but I think I think that staying, like being able to carry over items like you can the beans, I think that would be, especially for an event like this one where it's challenging to get some of those bigger ticket items, or just save for the awakening protein and stuff. Like even if you couldn't say use them to like, I don't know, is the bee spitting honey? I don't know what he's doing, but even if you can't get the bee to do that, but you could still use it in the store. Do you know what I mean? Side of things, like the trade inside.
Yeah,
I think it would be beneficial. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But I agree. Yeah, but what you said is bang on. Do you know what I mean? This is an event for someone that's already spent $2,000 on an ant and just needs an upgrade on their awakening. Because if you spent $2,000 on the ant, you're going to go buy the awakening, aren't you? We know that. But for your blue awakening or whatever. So it's aimed at the people that had $2,000 to spend a couple of months back, which is kind of good because we all need them. I appreciate it and thank you. But I think, this is another one that I think we really, all the while that you allow me to have a voice, I'm going to kind of keep pushing this. Let things roll over. All of these little mini events, they're only going to be worthwhile if we allow everybody in the community, whether they spend or not, to gradually get a benefit from it. And I think I have to keep trying to push that as much as possible. Someone might be here listening, you never know. So that's all I'm saying. But I think Bug, you nailed it. It is a 100% aimed at the the pay to win end of the market. So but as you said, Nim, you still get a couple of cool little bits, so all good. I don't know if anyone in the audience has ever kind of had any kind of thoughts on it. I don't know if anyone has any kind of super strong opinion about it. But I mean, if so, let us know. But if you've got any disagreement, also let me know. I do love a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I'm just gonna leave it out there as we need to keep stuff. We need to keep the resources we earn, and then hopefully get a reward from it later. So next, what do we go to? World Suggest. I think one of you said you had something super cool that you did want to talk about.
Mine's not super cool, but I want to do the little one because we had this tiny little, I think it will start a dialogue and maybe we can continue it into another conversation down the road. But someone posted in our suggestions, because I want them to know we do actually listen and look at our stage topic channel, about what is if there is, in your opinion, what is the best spot, depending on season, to be your starting ground. And we had started to have a tiny bit of a conversation around this. Like, you know what I mean? Because we're looking at it as there are some that have more benefits, but it also depends on your alliance.
And how truthful your alliance leaders are when you have your initial kind of discussions with them. So, I mean, I think we agreed that, you want to be on the outside to be able to get to a next territory if you're kind of one of the pushing alliances in your camp, right?
Yes. And depends on season, right? Like it's like if you're on island, I mean, you want to be, there is some more advantages to certain starting zones, but it depends on the type of alliance you have, because if you start in those zones, you want to be able to hold those zones.
And you? That's the thing. Yeah. So, but I think you're right. It is different per event. So what were we talking about, the wetlands one specifically, weren't we? Whether there was the right starting point for that. Has anyone got any actual kind of data that suggests a right way to go? And I've seen loads on the forums of, feedback on our event, why we did this, how that went, and so on. I don't think I've ever seen anyone come up with do this,
A breakdown of what specific benefits there are to each zone, or disadvantages, depending on event. I mean, I just thought it was a very interesting conversation, and it wasn't something I'd actually put a ton of thought into, but I don't know. But yes.
Snoop, he's just put in there, Steps put in kind of like the blue, pink, purple, the island. I mean, I guess that's kind of, is that the quicker tunnel access to Clash or something, Step? I don't know. Don't know what the
Well,
colours are.
isn't that the no man's zone, or what's it called? What do we always call it? I mean, it's been a long time since I've been on island, but that too, it's great to be next to the extra zone on island. But if you're not an alliance that can hold that zone, or you're not interested in fighting too much, that's not a great zone for you, because you're going to end up.
Okay, look, I've Bugs just posted. Did you post
Area
this, Bugs?
51, that's it.
Yeah, so you can look at certain areas, and if your alliance is like particularly shooter heavy and you want more attack, you can say, oh, well, this particular zone has, X amount of, buffs with this much attack, or we're carrier heavy, so this zone has X amount of buffs with this percentage attack. I haven't done the numbers to see which one is better for each ant type, but there are charts available out there that you can compare, like these, to say, hey, this is for vast jungle. I haven't seen one for barren land or surreal wetland or island, but for vast jungle,
So
at least.
you use this? Because I use this for later in the game when you're in areas and you want to push into their. Do you know what I mean? I use it to identify what our advantage or disadvantage is going to be based on my fighters. So my main fighters, are we going to have a harder fight or an easier fight based on obviously the area they hold? But I've never nerded it that badly to plan it at the beginning of my game. There must be people that do it, and I guess you're part of that world, Bug.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. So,
for example, if you're in the blue camp, your carrier ant soldier output is going to be the highest in zone 8 and the lowest in zone 9 and 10. So but most alliances don't have a lot of carrier mains. They have mostly shooter mains. So you don't want zone 5 if you have a lot of shooters, because the soldier output there is 40, ranked at 40.
Yeah, so you're handicapping yourself.
Yourself.
So it still comes back to, it depends on your type of alliance, depends on how you want to play, and like what troop type is specific.
Yeah, I think they're going to be the questions, aren't they? Or you can nerd it out even further, and I guess you've already done this in the past. Is you start at a disadvantage because you know that your main fighters are going to boost their honor immediately, hit the higher, obviously, output faster, and then move into an area where you're going to have the advantage. So I guess, the nuances are insane. You could go through it forever, but if you actually go into the detail, you can set yourself up for a slower start, knowing that the main guys are gonna get there anyway and not worry about the honor route, and then make your life easier when you actually get there based on your kind of damage outputs, right?
Yeah, there could be a way to long game it. I'd have to look at it. Just would depend, what zone is clash and what zone is your home zone and stuff like that. I don't know which of these areas that are numbered are clash or home starting zones. It just says that 12 is the free area.
Okay, but I've not done it from a beginning point of view. I don't think we ever really did it as a Vic team either, did we, Nim? Not that early in the game, at least. It was just a consideration later from memory.
I was just thinking about it. It's like anything in this game, right? It's like, I was just thinking, because I'm always like, what's the next question I want to ask everybody on off topic, but on topic? Like, do you hoard resin, or do you burn it all to get to that? It's all these little nuances of, well, there's always benefits to hoarding the resin, and then there's benefits to not hoarding it and getting to your 40K. There's benefits to getting this area, and then there's not benefits to this area. So it's like all these little tiny shifting.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like this game is chess, but it's the Star Trek chess, where it's like 3 layers of chess at the same time, because you're like, how you move or decide to move, or what your next, like, you have to be planning in layers if you really want to, like, you know what I mean? And it's like, you can't always, you don't always have the right.
Layers, I get it. Yeah, ogres are like onions.
So-
Yeah.
But it's like
Uh,
I don't know, like it depends on how you play your hill and how you play the game and what that looks like for you. But yeah, I'm like, because I'm always like, I play against myself, right? For the
Mhm.
most part, my game is like I like to win and I play as a team and all of that stuff. But when it comes down to it, I am my biggest competition. Like, am I improving ants? How am I navigating like my buildings? What does that look like? So I'm always like, oh, okay, what is that? So I'm the biggest competition. So it's like the only person I can really disappoint is me. So it's, I don't know. It's challenging because I'm like, I didn't hoard resin last week. I totally hoarded resin this week. Doesn't matter to be at the top of the honor. Like, you know what I mean? It's like all of those things combined.
Bugging his he doesn't spend obviously in the game, guys. Don't worry about it. You can all get the first 2 weeks, and we are 71,570. So genuinely, would the first zone you get to, output of soldiers, really matter to anyone that's at that level? Let's be real. Come on.
Yeah, man, because the people I play with are so competitive. All the 11 nodes were gone so fast I hardly got any.
Okay.
And so it all adds up. And so now this clash opened and I just nailed all the 11s. I even hit one from 177 feet. And so the only reason this season I'm trying to stay on number one in honor is to beat in anything, because that's the only thing I could ever beat him in.
To be fair, I'll do that sometimes too. If like there's somebody on season that you can have a healthy competition with, I'll be like, nah, I'm gonna collect my soldiers every time. I'm not gonna wait to use
the 30 mil for some of the lower guys, that 30 mil I think is you do need it a lot of the time for kind of like your shells and whatever else. But collecting your 10s is also kind of a nice way to go, isn't it? So okay, so I think, I mean, what you throw up, Bug, is exactly what we spoke about all the way through, is that no matter which way you look at this from, there is another level to look at it from. So, I'm throwing out, does it matter? And in actual fact, it probably matters even more, because the guys you're fighting are going to kill twice as many as your soldiers. So, it has balance. Yeah. So, and again, I'm looking at it from I think I saw someone in their own game. So I think this is really, really cool. Nim, you'll do yours to get your own satisfaction and get your own progress. I'll do mine just because, and Bug, you.
It's only the game because there are so many layers to that, and what you should be improving and looking at and watching, and how many hornets and how many, wild insects that you hit. Like it's almost
like we said earlier, we're feeling guilty, right? about what we're not doing. We are, because we're so programmed to do the best for ourselves. It doesn't affect the team necessarily, because it's our progress, it's our own satisfaction.
But it does too. It does affect the team though, because if I'm playing well and improving my hill, then I'm playing well and improving my hill for the whole team as well, as much as it's for myself, because you're going to show up and play. But I've never had this much sleep in an event. But I actually have a question for you, because that's something I was talking to Fox about, or not Fox, Soul about the other day. It's like, for me, my impression is that having done 2 wetlands back to back, I found it very, very draining, because it's a high intensity event basically from the get-go. That like, I think how I will navigate events in future will be like, do a wetland, because I very much enjoy playing them. But for resource wise and teleport wise, because it's such a teleport heavy event, it'll be like a wetland event and then say a relaxed event like Fast Jungle or Island or whatever. I mean, whatever the option might be. But I feel like that is a much better and healthier for myself overall gameplay.
Yeah, and I think for the leveling, you know, the rewards, I mean, realistically, if the game doesn't make it drastically more rewarding for the amount of time and energy that you have to put in to achieve the same thing, where's the benefit? If you're putting so much of yourself into it, you know, why do it twice in a row when you can get pretty much the same from having a chill one?
And I mean, I do know, and I said it when we were chatting, that I'm actually the pink zone this season, so I'm the same color as the bots, and I keep thinking I can't get lizards and nodes in our own territory because I'm so traumatized.
Your PTSD from 2 back-to-back wetlands.
Yeah, I'm just not, like, I'm so used to facing bots that I'm like, I don't know what this is.
But Bug, obviously, you're going to carry on doing whatever the teams want to do. I guess it's less personal for you and more about kind of that side of things.
I mean, I'll do whatever the group consensus is, but that's what the consensus was for our group. The whole team was like, man, 2 surreal wetlands back to back. We need a break to recharge. Let's go to barren lands.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm the same. I'll follow my crew and however they want to play. But I mean, I think overall it's an interesting, because I think sometimes we can get caught up in ego in the games. He was like, want to win. It's the newest event. But it's like, you know, you got to find that balance, that ant life balance.
100%. You know, I think it is that. You've got to have some sort of balance. And, you know, I mean, I took the move to, I think, 701. I went over to, you know, to just see if anyone actually wanted any help or if it wanted to just roll through and whatever. So I went fully intending to be a little bit more full send on a Baron. But in reality, we're all at Baron because we know we could do it with our eyes closed. So it's not full send for us. Do you know what I mean? It's a walk in the park. It's a nice, easy, chill event. But you know, arriving, you know, it sort of transpires. It just wants to be really, really, really chill. So actually now I just feel guilty, and that's what I was saying earlier. I do feel guilty because I'm not asking how people are getting on. I'm not asking if they need any help with their boosting. I'm not asking. There's not any part of me actually being involved in the event. So I actually do feel a little bit guilty because it's so alien, and I think because now we're going to go back and do, I think, surreal in the next one. I think you're actually going to go even harder. Maybe that's kind of like Bug's kind of side of things as well. You know, your team is so full send that recharge and that downtime makes for a massively better event when you go back into it full send. So
yeah.
Okay, so have we got anything else you want to go through, guys? I think we're pretty much on time, aren't we? Just over. So anything else? Anyone? I'm just
going to do my usual spiel at the end of every stage of a quick reminder to everyone to put your in-game ID in the ID channel so that we can get the fairies to send you a little something for participating, because we do not have a stage if we do not have all of you here to listen, hang out, and participate. As well, if you have any stage topics that you would like us to talk about in future, please feel free to post it in our stage topics channel. And just, you know, tell all your friends, let them know that 15 UTC is now going to be our regular stage time. And was there anything else? Oh, yes. And for Charmaine, because I see her out there in the audience, quick reminder that if you've ever been passionate about ants and want to participate in some of the staff opportunities, please check out the recruitment channel, because there are some amazing opportunities if you are creative, if you have, you know, spotlight. Like, there's so many great things you can do that don't always necessarily mean you have to come up on stage and talk. So please check all of those out and see if there's something out there that would be a good fit for you.
Absolutely. And just in time. Did Jake have anything to add?
We see you, Jay.
I want to call him out quickly if he wants to add anything.
Yeah. He's probably like,
Hey, Jake, you're trying to pull a
Hello?
box.
Yeah, I was taking a page out of your notebook, I guess. No, I didn't set any alarm, and I woke up even early because I did know that the stage was moved, but then I fell asleep on my couch before the stage.
Oh no!
Good to see you, bro.
that's okay.
Okay,
We
anything
managed.
else? Bug, anything from you, buddy?
No, I'm just wish everybody the best of luck and hope everyone has a great time in their event.
Amazing. Same from me, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. And as Nim said, obviously those talking points, chuck them in. We do dig through world suggestions, so you've got every opportunity to tailor this to whatever you guys want to hear. So thanks for coming, and we will see you hopefully next week. Cheers all.
Thank
All
you,
right, take
everybody.
care.
Have a good weekend.